Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I have kind of like a quicker version of cheesecake with an apple cider caramel. I'm really excited about this. So this cheesecake, we are going to make pumpkin spice. This is a delicious recipe that I've never done before. Now that we know what we're doing, let's gather our ingredients. First things first, you are going to need a 14-cup food processor. It's a big one. You really want to incorporate, kind of make it light and fluffy, and you're going to have the best result with this. An immersion blender could work as well, but 14-cup food processor is pretty important here. With that said, we got 3 mini recipes here. We're going to have to make a pumpkin pie spice. So you are going to need some ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, ground allspice, ground ginger, ground clove. For our pumpkin pie spice, I'm going to be doing 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. Ground ginger, I'm going to be doing 2 teaspoons here. Next up, we got my allspice, 3/4 of a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Last but not least, an 1/8 teaspoon ground clove. This is potent stuff. And that's it. You got some pumpkin pie spice here. Mix it up, get all the lumps out, and you are good to go. Now it's time to gather the ingredients. We're going to be doing that caramel sauce, and we're going to be doing the cheesecake. So for this, you are going to need eggs, sugar, AP flour. I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla in. If you ever watch me, you know I love my vanilla. 2 1/4 pounds regular old cream cheese, heavy cream, dark brown sugar, apple cider, and of course, you're going to need the pumpkin spice that we just made. Finally, I have preheated my oven, middle rack, 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I also have a springform pan that I have lined and sprayed liberally with parchment. I don't want to spend 12 hours on cheesecake, all right? I want to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours. So we're going to be blasting it. But in order to blast it and cook it quick, you got to make some changes to the recipe. One of them, line it with some parchment. Right, now that we got our ingredients and we know what we're doing, let's get cooking. So let's start with this caramel. It is going to take a while. So I have a heavy bottomed saucepan here. So to start, I want to put apple cider in. I'm going to do 3 1/4 cups. Next up, you are going to add 1 2/3 cup of sugar. Now I'm going to put that over medium-high heat, and it's going to take about 30 minutes. You want it to get to about 250 degrees. So you want to get it over boiling. So there's no water left. It's just the sugars. Medium-high heat. I'm not going to be stirring it. It's going to let it sit. Time for this cheesecake. Let's do it. Start with the eggs. 7 eggs. All right. So we got 7 eggs. 2 cups of sugar now. 1, 2. Let's process this for about a minute. You want it pale yellow. You essentially want all the sugar dissolved. Looking good, pale yellow. Looks like all the sugar's dissolved. Now it's time. We're going to be adding 2 1/4 pounds cream cheese here. 1/4 cup AP flour. Adding a cup of heavy cream here. Now let's process this until it's all said and done. It's probably been about 40 seconds. Just going to scrape down the sides here. I'm also going to add a little bit of vanilla. Almost forgot the vanilla. How could I forget the vanilla? 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 2 teaspoons pumpkin spice. 1, 2. Let's do it. Let's not be afraid of flavor, my friends. Another minute. Oh, look at that. Nice and spotted. Looks good. We have our prepared pan. Beautiful. Stunning. Get this on a baking sheet and get it in your 425 degree Fahrenheit oven, middle rack, 50 minutes. 3/4 cup of heavy cream. Whoa. If you've never made a caramel before, you essentially want to, I'm getting this to 250 and then taking it up to about 320. And then I'm adding the heavy cream. It's going to go when I do it. But different caramels, depending whether you want hard caramel, soft caramel, whatever you want, whether or not you're adding heavy cream or you're just leaving it as sugar, depends on the temperature you're taking it up to. So I moved my caramel into a bigger pan. Just our caramel's up to 250 degrees. You're going to drop the heat down to medium-low. You're going to bring it up to about 320. It's going to climb faster than you might think. Caramel, you don't ever want to walk away. It's one of the rules of caramel. I see a 326. I'm now going to add my heavy cream here. It is going to burble. It is going to foam. It's going to be mad. 3/4 cup of heavy cream here. right to the tippy top there. All right, as it cools, it will thicken up. So if it seems a little loose, just know that it's extremely hot right now. Let's give it a little taste here. It kind of tastes like a caramel apple. It's the only way to describe it. Tastes like you took an apple, you dunked it in caramel, and you took a bite. This is my new favorite thing. I'm gonna rotate my cheesecake now. What did I say, 50 minutes? It's been over 30. Our cheesecake is done. You want it to temp out in the middle around 150 degrees, 155. It'll still be a little jiggly. That's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and take it out because I've hit that benchmark. You can see it's still a little jiggly. That's fine. We're going to let it cool. It should cool for about 2 hours to completely firm up. So let it sit. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. 2 hours. And then we'll take it out and mess with it. How's that sound? I have this delicious cheesecake. We're going to cut it. We're going to slice it. We're going to pour our molten apple caramel sauce on top. Let's get started. Here we go. We cut in. Okay. Look at this beautiful caramelization. Let's get this slice up here. Look at how custardy that is. Look at how delicate that is. Oh, yes. Perfectly set. Still a little jiggly. That's fine. Tempt it out. Tempt it, I want to say between 155, 165, right in the middle. I'd err on the 160, 165 range. Be perfect. We got our caramel sauce. Get those slow-mo cameras ready. Watch this deliciousness. I'll do Let's go ahead and take a bite. This is our pumpkin spice cheesecake. This is crustless with my apple cider caramel. Here we go. It's hot. It's hot. I love this. Oh my God. The pumpkin spice. It just comes through. It just comes through. You can see it speckled in there. Look at this. Let's just dunk it in this delicious caramel sauce. Look at the consistency here. Doesn't get better than that. It's just the cheese carries it. You get a little bit of that cream cheese, a little bit of that tang, and it's just smooth and creamy. And then that pumpkin spice, it just kind of eases its way in, kind of takes a stroll, opens the door casually and just is like, hey, what's up? Nothing too tremendous, nothing too punch you in the mouth, just like, hey. And then it builds. And then you get the sweet caramel and that apple goodness. Oh, I don't know how else to describe it. The caramel itself is like eating a caramel apple. And it's just so soft. It's custardy. It's not like any cheesecake you've ever had, which tend to be a little bit firm. Those tend to be served cold or at most room temp. This is warm or at least room temp. Thanks so much for tuning in. That was pumpkin spice cheesecake with an apple cider caramel. I really hope you like what you saw. And if you did, don't forget to follow me on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.